Hello and welcome once again. In this video, we will have an introduction to the equilibrium constants, that is Kc and Kp. We will learn about writing the equilibrium expressions and also how to calculate the units of Kc and Kp, and we will also see some solved examples of the same. So let's start with the equilibrium constant Kc. In this, let's see first what is equilibrium constant. So it is a constant with respect to concentration for a particular reaction at a constant temperature. Means if we consider any reaction, then at a constant temperature it's a constant. So suppose if we take an example of a reaction, say A plus 2B, which are the reactants, gives the products 3C plus D. Then how to write the equilibrium constant Kc? So let's start with writing an expression of Kc. Suppose these are our products. So we need to write the concentration of the products first, that is the concentration of C multiplied by the concentration of D. Now here the square bracket means the concentration. Now we have seen that the mole ratio of product C is 3. So we need to raise the power of C with 3. Divide by the concentration of the reactants. Now here we have reactant A. So concentration of reactant A into concentration of the reactant B. Again the mole ratio of B is 2. So B has to be raised to the power of 2, and this is how we are going to write the equilibrium expression for this reaction. So that shows that the products has to be written on the numerator, the concentration of the products, and the mole ratio should go in the power of that particular product, divided by, that is in the ratio, the concentration of the reactants. Again the mole ratio goes in its power. Now let's understand how to calculate the unit of Kc. Now if you look at the equilibrium expressions, on the numerator we have a concentration raised to cube. So if you consider the unit of concentration of C, we have mole cube dm power minus 9 for C itself. Now for D, it should be again mole per dm cube divided by again the concentration of A and B. So again for A we'll be writing mole per dm cube again into mole square dm power minus 6 for the square of the concentration of B. So now because of this, the whole denominator with this gets cancelled off with the concentration of C. So we are left with the unit as shown here. So unit for this particular reaction will be mole per dm cube. Now we need to know that the unit of Kc will change with each and every reaction, because the mole ratios of each and every reaction will also be different. Now we need to note down few important points about the equilibrium reactions. So let's understand that with the help of an example. Here we have a reaction of hydrogen and iodine reacting to form hydrogen iodide, and its Kc value is as shown, that is 161 at 500 Kelvin. Now if you take a look at the another example, here it is nitrogen and hydrogen. The mole ratio here will be 3, gives ammonia. The Kc value for this is 2.3 into 10 power minus 2. Now if you compare the Kc values, we can see that the Kc value here, that is 161, is much higher compared to the Kc value of ammonia. Now as we know that while writing Kc, we always write products on the numerator, and in the denominator we write reactants. Now, if the value of Kc is greater, that shows the concentration of product should be higher than the concentration of reactants, and this will give you the higher value of Kc. Now, if you look at these values, we can make out that at this temperature, that is 500 Kelvin, if the value is higher, that shows that the product formed at this temperature will be higher compared to the reactants left after the reaction. And if you compare the second reaction, the value is much lower. So we can make out that at this temperature, 648 Kelvin, the amount of ammonia formed should be lower than the amount of nitrogen and hydrogen reacting together, because the Kc value is very low, less than 1. So let's note down few points about it. That a large numerical value of Kc indicates that the equilibrium lies to the right, that is, the products dominate in the equilibrium, as we have seen in the example of hydrogen and iodine. Now, the next point which we need to consider is that if the smaller numerical value of Kc is there, as we had seen in the example of ammonia, it indicates that the equilibrium lies to the left, that is, the reactants dominate in the equilibrium, that is, the yield product amount will be formed less. And one more point we need to note, that is that no matter what concentration of reactants and or products we start with, or that is present at the starting of the reaction, but a reaction tends towards an equilibrium composition where the concentration are related to the Kc. Now this means that even if we start from the product side, we start with ammonia that decomposes into nitrogen and hydrogen, still it will tend, the concentration of these three species will follow the equilibrium constant value, and it will try to move towards the related concentration of Kc. And this we have also understood in our earlier video of the introduction to the equilibrium also, where we had seen this with the example of few graph. Now let's understand the characteristics of Kc. Let's take an example here. Suppose if we have an example of nitrogen and hydrogen reacting together to form ammonia. Now we know that the forward reaction is exothermic. Now if forward reaction is exothermic, and if we increase the temperature, then according to Le-Chatelier's principle, the reaction will move in such a direction to decrease the temperature. Now if we want to decrease the temperature, then it should favor the endothermic side, that is the reactant side. So in this case, now as the reactants are formed more, then with such a reaction, exothermic reaction, increase in temperature will decrease the Kc value because the products has decreased in the concentration. So we can say that Kc decreases with increase in temperature for an exothermic reaction, and opposite of this for the endothermic reaction, that is, for an endothermic reaction, increase in temperature will increase the value of Kc. Now let's again see that with one more example here. Now hydrogen iodide decomposes to form hydrogen and iodine, that is, this reaction is endothermic in forward direction. So with this increase in temperature will, according to Le-Chatelier's principle, will favor the endothermic side, that is the product side. So in this case, if the amount of product has increased, then the Kc value should also increase. That's the reason that the Kc increases with increase in temperature for endothermic reactions, because the product's concentration increases with increase in temperature for such an endothermic reaction. Now let's see one of the solved example for Kc. Here the question says calculate the Kc for a given reaction where ethanoic acid and ethanol are reacting to form ethyl ethanoate and ester and water. Now the carboxylic acid and alcohol have the initial concentration of 1 mole per dm cube. At equilibrium, the ester is found to have the concentration of 0.667 moles per dm cube, and calculate the units of Kc also along with the value of Kc. So let's work out the value of Kc first. Now if you look at the reaction, the initial concentration for CH3COOH is given here is 1, that is 1 mole per dm cube of ethanoic acid and 1 mole per dm cube for ethanol, and the initial concentration of both the products should be 0. But at equilibrium, the concentrations for the ester is given, that is 0.667. Now 0.667 we are writing below the ester. Now as we can see that the mole ratio for both the products is same. So if this amount of product is formed for one of it, then the other product should also have the same concentration, that is 0.667. Now if we look at the reaction, again the mole ratio of the reactants and products is also 1:1. So that shows that if this amount of product is formed, then the same amount of product is used up from the reactant side. So we are subtracting the same value from the reactant side. So at equilibrium, the concentration of reactant left over is 0.333, and for the other reactant also it is the same. So at equilibrium, concentration for the ethanoic acid is 0.333, same for the ethanol also, and the concentration of products are given in the question. So let's work out the value of Kc by writing the expression first, that is the concentration of product, that is ethyl ethanoate, in the numerator, multiply by the concentration of water divided by the concentration of ethanoic acid CH3COOH multiply by the concentration of ethanol, that is C2H5OH. Now if we substitute the value, we get 0.667 multiply by 0.667 divide by again the concentration of reactants, that is 0.333 multiply by 0.333, and this gives us the value of Kc as 4. So the value of Kc calculated is 4, and if we look at the units, then we need to know that this Kc value have no units, because moles per dm cube will get cancelled with this moles per dm cube of the reactants, as the mole ratio of each and every, that is the power of each and every product and reactant are same. So this Kc has no units. So we may come across such Kc value which have no units also. So our answer for Kc is equal to 4 with no units. Now let's understand about the equilibrium constant Kp, that is the equilibrium constant with respect to pressure. Now when we talk about pressure, first let's understand that how does the reacting molecules apply pressure in a system. In a system means a reaction. Suppose this is a reacting mixture or reacting container in which there are reacting molecules present. Now suppose there are few reactant molecules and few product molecules. Now these molecules, when collide with the wall of the container and then they apply the pressure, that is the pressure which is applied on the container, and we consider this as pressure. So the total pressure exerted by all the molecules, reactant as well as product molecules, is the total pressure, and the pressure applied by individual molecule is called the partial pressure. So in a reacting mixture, we need to consider the partial pressure of all the reactant molecules and the product molecules, which gives us the total pressure, and partial pressure is denoted by the symbol P with respect to a particular reactant, say A, and if it is a product, say the partial pressure applied by the product, say B, will be denoted as shown here. So when we talk about partial pressure, we have to add all the partial pressures. When we talk about the total pressure, we have to consider all the partial pressures applied by each and every molecule of the reactants and the products. So we can say that each gas in a mixture of reaction contributes to the total pressure of the mixture. The pressure exerted by one of the gas in the mixture is called partial pressure, which is denoted by the symbol P. Now here comes the Dalton's law, which states that the total pressure exerted by a mixture of the gases in a reaction is the sum of the partial pressure of the gases. That is, when you consider the total pressure, we have to take the sum of all the partial pressures applied by the gases in the reaction mixture, which can be expressed in an expression as shown here. Say suppose there are 3 gases in the reaction mixture A, B and C. So partial pressure applied by all these gases will give us the total pressure. Now let's understand this with the help of an example. Say here this is a reaction where nitrogen and hydrogen is reacting together to form ammonia, where all these reactants and product is a gas. So if we want to write an expression for Kp, we again need to write first the products in the numerator. Now if we apply here the expression of Kp, that is partial pressure, we need to denote in terms of the partial pressure of ammonia first, that is product. Now here we can see that the mole ratio of ammonia is 2, so the partial pressure of ammonia has to raise to the power of 2, that is the square, divide by the partial pressure of nitrogen gas into the partial pressure of hydrogen, again raised to the power of 3, because the mole ratio here is 3. Now let's calculate the unit of Kp, which varies with each and every expression or each and every reaction. So here in this example, let's calculate the unit of Kp. Now let me be very clear here that most of the time we consider the unit of pressure as Pascal, but at times we consider it as atmosphere also. So it can be used either of it. So suppose if we consider Pascal here as a pressure, as the unit of pressure, then here we have Pascal square for ammonia, divide by Pascal for nitrogen and Pascal cube for hydrogen. Now here if we have a look, then if we cancel out few, then we'll be left with 1 upon Pascal square. So we can write that the unit of this is Pascal to the power minus 2. So different reactions will have different units of Kp depending on the mole ratio of that reaction molecules. Now let's understand this in detail by calculating the value of Kp with the help of an example. Here we have a reaction where dinitrogen tetroxide decomposes to form nitrogen dioxide, and here is a question which says 0.2 moles of N2O4 is allowed to reach equilibrium. The equilibrium mixture contained 4.60 gram of nitrogen dioxide and equilibrium pressure is 0.431 atmosphere. Now equilibrium pressure means this is the total pressure of the reacting mixture. Now to calculate the partial pressures, to write the expression of Kp and calculate the value of Kp, we need moles. Now we have the moles of N2O4, but we don't have the moles of nitrogen dioxide. Instead we have its mass. So first we need to calculate the moles of NO2, that is nitrogen dioxide, and for that we need to divide the mass by its MR, that is molecular mass, which is 46. So this gives us the value of 0.1 moles for nitrogen dioxide. Now if we write the reaction again, it is N2O4, which gives the equilibrium sign to NO2. Now the initial moles are 0.20 moles for N2O4 and 0 for nitrogen dioxide. Now at equilibrium, we know that the moles of nitrogen dioxide is 0.1 moles. Looking at the mole ratio, here is 2 and here we have 1. So it is 1:2 ratio. So that shows that compared to nitrogen dioxide, half the moles of N2O4 is used up. So we need to subtract the moles accordingly. So we will be subtracting 0.1 divided by 2. That is 0.15 moles of N2O4 at equilibrium and 0.1 moles of NO2 nitrogen dioxide at equilibrium are present. So moles of N2O4 is 0.15 and for NO2 the moles is 0.1. Now how to calculate the partial pressure from the moles? Now here comes the term mole fraction. Now what is mole fraction? It's the amount of moles present in the given mixture. So what we have to do is divide the number of moles of a particular species by the total number of moles of the whole reacting mixture. So let's calculate the mole fractions of each and every species first. So for N2O4 dinitrogen tetroxide, mole fraction is total moles, not the total moles, moles of N2O4 divided by total moles. Now moles of N2O4 is 0.15 divided by the total moles. Total moles is again 0.15 plus 0.1. So 0.25 total moles. This gives us the value 0.60. And for nitrogen dioxide, the mole fraction should be again the moles of NO2, that is 0.1 divided by the total moles, that is 0.25. This gives us the value of 0.40. Now let's calculate the partial pressure of both the gases. Say first N2O4. Now what we need to do is multiply the mole fraction with the total pressure, that is 0.431, which gives us the value of 0.2586. So this is the partial pressure of N2O4, and the partial pressure of nitrogen dioxide should be again mole fraction 0.40 multiplied by 0.431. This gives us the value 0.1724. So partial pressure of nitrogen dioxide is 0.1724. Now substituting this in the Kp expression, we get Kp is equal to the partial pressure of nitrogen dioxide raised to square divided by the partial pressure of N2O4. So this is equal to 0.1724 square divided by 0.2586, which gives us the value as 0.115. Now if you calculate the unit in atmosphere, why? Because the unit given here is atmosphere. So atmosphere square divided by atmosphere. So we get the unit as atmosphere, as it gets cancelled. So in this numerical, we also learned how to calculate the value of Kp, but before that we also need to learn how to calculate the mole fraction for a particular species, that is reactant molecules or product molecules. From that we need to calculate the partial pressure, and from this partial pressure ultimately we calculate the value of Kp. Now to learn more examples, you need to go to the another video of the calculations, or you can say topical questions of KP, whose description or the link is given in the description of this video.